Hey, everyone. Welcome. This is Michigan's AutoTalk Podcast, and this is episode 64, stripped, raw, and not much other than just me, producer Phil Tower. Al and John are not on this episode because I wanted to talk to you about the podcast. We've been doing the podcast now for about 2 years. We had a little bit of a break in there, but we've been doing the podcast every week for you, and we want to know, really, I'm just kind of laying it out there. We want to know if you appreciate it weekly or if you wouldn't care if we did it once a month or maybe every other week. We want to know because at this point, we're doing this for the passion and the love of car lovers. And trust me, all three of us love doing the podcast. So we'd love to hear from you. If you'd drop us a message on our Facebook page, that would be awesome. Facebook.com/Michigan's AutoTalk. You can also email us at miautotalk@gmail.com. It's miautotalk@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. I mean, just let us know what you think of the podcast. And do you like it every week? Or do you think, you know what, I'd be okay with it every couple of weeks, or I'd be okay with it once a month? We'd love your honest, candid, unfiltered feedback. And we'd also love to hear from you about what else you want on the program. What else do you want to hear on the podcast? Suggestions, repeats, special guests, maybe somebody you've seen on Motor Trend TV or someone you know that would make a great guest for Michigan's Auto Talk Podcast. We'd love to hear from you about that. And again, you can just message us on Facebook, but this is a two-way street. So you've got to use your power to let us know what you think. Even if you think we suck, just say, hey, you guys suck. I hate your podcast. I've only listened once or twice. Guess we can't suck that bad. But the point is, we can't continue this without knowing what you want. Certainly we can continue it, but it's an exercise in futility if we're not serving you, our listeners. And we want to grow this podcast to make it successful and to grow the audience as big as possible. We're doing this for car lovers just like you and car lovers just like us. Yes, we enjoy doing the podcast as well. So that's my very quick talking to you, unfiltered, raw, no theme music version of Michigan's Auto Talk Podcast. This was, by the way, episode 64. And do me a favor, please leave us some feedback. Share this episode with a friend if they've listened before, and encourage them to let us know what you think of the podcast, what you'd like to hear on future episodes, and how often you care about us publishing. We'd appreciate all of those things immensely. Again, that's miautotalk@gmail.com or message us on Facebook. And until next time, that'll put the wraps on this very short episode number 64 of Michigan's Auto Talk Podcast. No theme music, no closed music, just me, Phil Tower, saying thank you for listening. Once again, thank you on behalf of our co-host, Al Schwinkendorf and John Puick from Verberg's Automotive. And do us a favor. Catch us on the flip side. The next episode you're going to want to hear, trust me. Episode 65 has a VIP guest. And that's the best tease I can give you. It'll be out next week on this podcast, Michigan's Auto Talk Podcast. Thanks for listening.